Hello friends, welcome to Political Baba. This is Prasanna Jangam. I'm a political commentator and a Congress party worker. Today I'm going to be speaking on AP politics, and today's topic is YS Jagan Reddy Garu, YS Jagan Reddy, Chief Minister of AP State, and the opposition leader Chandra Babu Naidu, CBN, in a head-on clash. So we are comparing YSJ and CBN against each other. Let's say so both of them are stalwarts in their own way. Both of them are giant of leaders. They've been through a lot. They've led their parties to victories, to power in the AP state. So definitely it's a very interesting and a very interesting clash to watch. But when we speak about politics, I've also spoken about this in different videos, in also in other videos in my channel. That when we speak about politics, it's not the good or it's not the governance with which good will be reaching people that is important. When it comes to politics, it's psychology, it's philosophy. It is reasoning strength of a leader that brings him to victory. It's just not the good intent. It's just not the innocence or the good or the good will of a leader that is being displayed that obviously leads one to victory. It is the brain reasoning strength of a leader who can stand on the strength on the strength of the opponent politician, crack them down, completely break down their ideologies, their schemes, their welfares, and break them down and detect and take to people and make everyone in the state know the hidden schemes, agendas, factors of the opposition leader or the leader he is fighting against. So when one is really heavy and shows some expertise, when it is clear to people that this is the guy who can handle the administration from the top to from the CM chair to the least of the least power holding chairs in the entire system, just like a jiffy, he's able to handle it. He can do it like it's almost nothing, like it's nothing. When people get to know this, people would like to stand behind him. It's no big deal that people because people choose a leader who is capable of running the system. At the same time, because running the system is not just you have your engine oil, it's gonna go smooth. No. So when we come to politics, even the good that you do will be put under scrutiny. You will be scrutinized. One will be scrutinized. One will be attacked. On everything they come up with, everything they try to do in the state. So when that happens, if there's a good leader but also a weak leader in reasoning, obviously people who stand behind him will be insecure, will be a bit short on self-confidence, a bit short or feel a bit beaten on their self-respect, because when a politician comes to the stage, when a politician comes to fight an election, obviously he brings with him his reasoning strength, everything that he has learned, every other thing that is thrown at him being broken down, being broken down by him, understood by him, and whatever his take is, whatever his understanding of that thing is, whatever he seems to be false in it, whatever he seems to be a bad thing, hidden, corrupt, looting intention behind it, when he figures out, he brings it to people and makes it so clear that even a 6-year-old understands it. And obviously when that comes to people, obviously the first thing that strikes mind of people is, because we have a looter, obviously he's going to loot as much as he can. On top of that, we get to see him, his family enjoying the lavishes, the luxuries, the money, the portfolios, the businesses, and all the treatment and all the great treatment they have. They get to live. So that is one thing. When social injustice, when looting like that happens, it happens because it happens against the state and money of people that is being looted there. So obviously people feel it is a bit against them that they are looting, and at the same time when they get to see them living the high life, the luxurious life, the glamorous life, the glitterous life, obviously it's gonna work as chili powder to their wounds. So it's when a politician is successful in trying to take this to people, and if it is a confirmed bad agenda, a confirmed bad intention, and the loot that is being designed behind a good thing, a supposed good thing, which is being designed to look like a good thing to people by one party, obviously, and if a leader is able to crack that down and take it to people, obviously people will have a great image about that guy. And when they figure out this guy can crack down a man's reasoning strength, a politician, a veteran politician, or a dynamic political leader, so, and then that is a man who gets to have a good view from people, good look from people, and there's going to be a lot of people being interested in watching him, looking at him, want to know what his plans are, what his plans for the state or the country is, are. So when this happens and it is consistent with that politician, obviously that politician is almost set to get to the throne, get to power. So when it comes, and that is tier 1, that is stage 1, and once stage 1 is cleared, in this case in the state of AP, obviously both the leaders are proven to be heavy in reasoning strength, both know each other well, and also both know the system well, both can reason heavy, both can criticize each other heavy and expose one another in their schemes. Not necessarily both are schemers here or looters here, but both can crack down a hidden scheme, because one is experienced, one that is CBN Garu, that is CBN, and YSJ, His Excellency APCM, is also an expert in cracking down the hidden agendas, and obviously finding out the credibility, non-credibility character of another politician, not literally, but both are heavy in reasoning. So that brings us to the second point. Obviously the first year is clear. So second thing is, there's a word called awqat in the north states. Though one is from lower middle class and middle class background, obviously this word is thrown out there like it's any other word, or it's just the word to be spoken, which is awqat, which is worth or capability. So money worth. Second thing is a political party's stamina is proven by the money that they bring into the pockets of its citizens. So if someone proves himself to be heavy, second thing, he'll be weighed on, judged on, scaled on, be the amount of money he can take to the people of his state. So it's that simple. So for example, AP state is making 90,000 crores a year. I found it from Google. Let's say around 1 lakh crore per year. So it's 5 lakh crores for 5 years. So 5 lakh crores for 5 years. So 60 months. So obviously every month makes like 8,000 crores, 7,000 crores, 7,500 crores a month, for example. So the leaving aside the existing government employees and the pensioners, the new incoming government, whoever it is, whoever forms the government, when they step in, they should be employing new people. They should be giving out jobs to people, new people, by spending good 2 to 3 months or 4 to 5 months income of that state. So the number of months money, income earned by that state, spent by the chief minister for recruiting new government employees and paying them, tells us how big of a leader he is. So let's say, for example, 3 months, 4 months income of AP state, leaving aside the income of 56 months of AP state, income of 56 months for the AP state, out of the 5 lakh crores. So let's say 30,000 crores, which is 4 months income of the state, is taken out by YSJ to pay for the 60 months, to pay for 5 years salaries for the new recruits that his government has recruited, or his government is going to be recruiting. So that's like more than 2 lakh jobs. If they pay them 25,000 to 30,000, 35,000 crores, and less than that, even if they pay 30 to 40,000 rupees per month, they'll end up with paying them 40,000 crores, 35,000 crores for the next complete 5 years. So that's how we get to know about the capability of a politician. If someone's just words, just talk, and no capability to bring money to pockets of people, definitely is just all talk, empty clouds, empty talk, small. This is he's all hype, he's all show off. He's just small man, a small man, a small politician, small life, small talks. The credibility is the thing. If someone loses their credibility, it's all the sweet parrot words and statements spoken by a leader. So though he's a stalwart of the politics, when he speaks, laughing at their face is the only thing that's lacking out there. So it's all comedy, it's all fun to watch. It's all material for trolling. So when it comes to reality of AP politics, when YS Jagan Reddy stepped in, what I've heard for many days, or what I was not able to observe, was that he was able to recruit around 2 lakh people or something like that, or something around there. So he was able to employ new employees for the AP government, and on top of that, he's been able to institute a system called volunteer system, that maybe a good 300,000-400,000 or maybe more, good 3-4 lakh people are working in that, at least 2 lakh people are working in that. So obviously there's some good amount of money that is being put into pockets, and obviously if 20,000, 30,000 is going to a government employee, that doesn't mean 30,000 is going into savings. So obviously spendings takes out 20,000 and takes that money into the market. So 20,000 is an opportunity for another to earn by supplying their needs, supplying for, the goods for their needs. So it is a chain that goes on for a good distance, and if one can regulate, if a chief minister is capable, can bring money into pockets of people, and if he's figured out a way to make that money running within the state and keep it constantly rotating, obviously he is really pumped good amount of good money into the market, that's going to stay in the market, stay in the state, and obviously continually and make opportunities be created continually. So that's what the stamina of a politician is. If there's So when it comes to YS Jagan Reddy Garu, the main thing he has done is not just the welfare scheme called Amavadi that he has introduced to the state of AP, and obviously when that happened, it is the game changer for the AP politics when it came, in which they give out 18,000 to each family. Every woman with a child or multiple children, more than one child in a family gets 18,000 rupees per year, which is 1,500 rupees per month, for helping them out with their expenses for educating their children. So AP is the state, after it got separated, AP is the state which is not really greatly urbanized, or which is not a place where tens and lakhs of crores of rupees have been invested into that state right after the separation. So, and obviously they ended up with almost 6 crore people and less than 1 lakh crore for annual revenue. So it is not an easy thing to pull out money enough for 50 lakh people, 50 lakh families to receive good 15,000-20,000 every month. So it's not that easy to do that. But when this is a scheme which is across the state, which is being implemented across the state, this is not the only scheme that he's been able to disburse to people, but almost every other woman in the state gets 18,000 if one is eligible. So obviously that is to do another, not just to help them cope with the expenses of sending their children to schools, but also to make sure that their children are being sent to schools, because AP is a bit rural, and because irrigation is a big thing. I think maybe around 50% or maybe more than 50% of population is dependent on agriculture and farming. So obviously it is not a hard thing for a parent to think compared to Telangana, compared to different other states, that if a parent thinks, from what I know, that he's not doing so well in school, in education, our family have been able to, our family have ended up with 2 acres of land, and he can, do his farming alongside his father, get to learn the work, get every once in a while, for a good number of times in a month, he gets to go out to work somewhere else. Some labor works that pays good 3,000-4,000 rupees a month when he, occasionally when he works. Apart from his own farming and some money on that, some income on that, that is going to be good for him. So it is a possibility for parents to think that way and end up, supporting students' intent to not pursue education and so on. So when in such situation, if I'm not sure if he has thought about this too, when YSJ has thought about Amavadi scheme, but this is also one of the things that Amavadi has accomplished, that because there is 1,500 rupees every month that is received by the beneficiary, by mothers of students, little children that go to school. Now it places a separate weight in the society, that after receiving 18,000 a year, it is hard to not send them to school in the society, and be normal about it. So people will be talking about it, and they will themselves feel beaten on their self-respect a bit, because they have received this assistance, and they're definitely bound to, or they definitely are supposed to, or definitely should be sending their children to schools. So that is another thing that has definitely contributed to the growth of AP state, not just financially but also for its future topography, future of that state and their. So that is one of the schemes that is covering the entire state. There are also other schemes, and I have listened to some testimonies saying that there are few families who are receiving 30,000 rupees, 40,000 rupees a year. So that's like more than 3,000 rupees a month. So for example, let's say talk is all talk again. When someone can take good 3,000 to 5,000 rupees to every family, or to good number of families in a state, be it through call it assistance or welfare scheme or whatever. If someone is able to take money into pockets, if Chief Minister is able to take into some money, good 3,000 rupees, 4,000 rupees a month into pocket of a family, and there are millions such families, obviously he's taken out some fear out of their families, and definitely AP is not a state where everyone's is really earning good 30,000-40,000 rupees a month. So for a new state, and with that backdrop, obviously it's going to be a huge boost up in helping out families to support themselves, just so that they get to meet their needs, in an okay manner. And on top of that, after receiving the money, along with receiving the money, there's also another thing that kind of scares people, that is the only thing that is burdensome to pretty much all the families, is how are they gonna be able to afford their kids' education. On top of that, how are they going to be able to afford their health care, their health facilities. For example, even for a family that earns a good 40,000-50,000 rupees a month, they're just one good operation or one good hospital visit and bill away from getting bankrupt, and some may end up with some debt on top of their savings, and everything they earn goes to repayment of the loans and the interest repayments, so interest payments. So that's a possibility. So what Jagannath Reddy Garu has achieved in that state is one thing that the party can be very boastful of is they have they brought education to government schools that looks like really an education provided by government, or what should be actually an education provided by government. When it came to Y.S. Jagannath Reddy, I think I heard him speak about the pathetic or the bad situation of the AP Telugu medium schools, the government schools, that kids not been able to children are not going to schools in good facilities. Children get to go through some rough and really untidy and sometimes with half decent facilities, and with those facilities they have to attend the schools. One thing is that when a child is going to a Telugu medium school, obviously that it's a thing that is a bit disgraceful or not disrespectful, but definitely not a thing that is going to earn a good image for a parent, good respect for a parent, because it is a Telugu medium school. Though it is a first language, though it is a mother tongue, but at the same time it is not the language of the global trade. Be it any regional language is a regional language. So for example, a global trade language is something that commands the entire globe, entire economies or entire marketplaces. Let's say, though there can be any other products that are being imported and exported throughout the world, which are high in value in numbers. For example, for the products like spices, for the products like rubber, for products like tea, coffee, chili powders, the spices, we can name whatever they are, which are not exclusive to a country. Those things those are not indispensable. Those are not not those things which completely make a country dependable on it, or definitely make them want to make some of the things that they need to export. They are just region specific things. But when it comes to global trade language, global language, though there are other languages than English which are being really spoken in great numbers, sometimes close to as much as English, but at the same time, or a little less than compared to English, but at the same time English is the language spoken by the regions, the countries where innovation and products come into the market, which are really in demand by entire world. AI, artificial intelligence, the technologies, social networking, mapping, making life easy, working on satellites, making life easy, deducting the distance, deducting the time of people in operations, things like those. So when these products are coming from a certain part of the world, and they are speaking a language, and obviously they dictate the pace, they make rules for language, so it is in English. So because it is English, when we're not able to get an English education, so it's definitely going to hurt a student in some way when it comes to self-respect compared to another student, because his father, not just only his father is able to for unfortunate reason the parents have not been able to afford their English education, but at the same time, though they've been able to send them to a school, it is a Telugu medium school, and Telugu alone doesn't get, unless one is really well skilled and gets to learn English, one is not easily learning the English by practice, just like in English medium schools compared to Telugu medium schools. Obviously it is not easy for a student from Telugu medium to crack an MNC interview, and not every student that goes to Telugu medium school is able to get a government job that can operate in Telugu. Sometimes even for the government employees, they need to know good English. Sometimes they don't know, they might end up working on application processes and so on. The work system can be displayed in English. So they should be able to at least read to get through that phase. For example, let's say that is for a limited time. So English is English, so there is no replacement for that until there's another emerging global market, a leading country which has a language. Hopefully it is Telugu, or hopefully it is Hindi, hopefully it is from India. But until then, English is English. And I've spoken in another video, getting to study in Telugu medium, getting to study in Telugu medium in a 7-star hotel is very, very less compared to getting to study in English medium under a tree or under a shed. It's that simple when it comes to image of it. Obviously that's what everyone feels, or that's what I used to feel about. And then so that's how the image is. So along with bringing some money into the people on a regular basis, YSJ, what he's been able to do is, once whatever the amount of money he makes, a citizen makes for himself, on the assistance through schemes that he is receiving or she is receiving from the government, whatever he or she makes, for the majority or for the good percent of that lot, what troubles is their health and affordability of their health and affordability of their kids' education. So not just the facilities have been made really bright, made really glittery, made really something that makes students want to go to school, to feel a good environment, good infrastructure, good buildings, good grounds and so on. Along with that, their medium of education has been made into English by the AP state government, which is something really, really great. So Telugu medium is Telugu medium, end of the day, no disrespect, but image wise speaking, it is what it is. That's what how people look at it. At least that's what people look at it from what I've noticed. So that's what the image is. So what YSJ when we speak about Chandra Naidu, the picture that strikes our mind is urbanization, concreting the city, making city into concrete jungles, making places into concrete jungles, making building big buildings, building IT buildings and so on. So when we think about Jagan, we think about farmers, we think about welfare, we think about pumping money into the market, making more opportunities for people. But when it comes to TDP, though it's a very old party, it's been there for a while, for regional parties, but at the same time it's a party leading up to this election. They've not been able to campaign so well, at least from what I see from the social media. They're not telling people that we've been able, when we came into power, we've been able to bring good 3 lakh jobs because it's a new state, and we paid them 40,000, 50,000 crores of rupees for 6 years' salaries. And after that, back in the day, we had these pathetic times, troublesome times, where a farmer, though he's a 3-acre farmer, owner of 3 acres, and he farms in 3 acres, obviously he's ending up getting 10,000 rupees per month, though he's an owner of 3 acres land. But when we came to power, not just by words but in action, we've been able to pay or buy from farmers their grains for that, because the rice is costing good 50 rupees, 60 rupees per kilo. So we've been able to pay them 30 rupees per kilo or 3,000 rupees per quintal, and nearly tripled, at least double their income. So if a farmer is selling his rice to the government for MSP of 30 rupees per kilo, obviously 1 acre, just 1 acre farmer is going to get 10,000 rupees per month. If it is 2 acre farmer, he gets good 20,000 per month. If one is a 3 acre farmer, obviously he gets good 30 plus thousand rupees a month for his pay, for his income. And it is just for 2 months, it is only for and this calculation is only for the yield of 2 crops. And on top of that, apart from selling his paddy, apart from selling his rice. There's also some other off season of rice where other things can also be cultivated, farmed and raised, and definitely they can be sold into the market too. So this is not something they've been able to take to people. It is complete onslaught of words, one attacking another party, back and forth, back and forth. They've been one minus, I would say, of TDP is they've not been able to speak. They're not campaigning so much on the grades that they've been able to achieve. For example, we've provided this amount of money, or we gave 2 lakh, 3 lakh crore rupees for infrastructure of the state. That is like 10,000 kilometers of good roads, and top of that, 100 to 200,000, 2 lakh new street lights, 20 to 30 flyovers, and on top of that, 5 to 6 dams. We made ready facilities through which water is provided to 2 million, 3 million, 20 lakh, 30 lakh acres of land of farming. So these are not the things that are being displayed, that are out there for TDP campaigning. Not the way the good things of YSRCP, the things that have been able to, the things that are reality in terms of cash acceptance by people of the state, by YSR CP administration, and obviously people are getting their health benefits. I'm not sure if it's for the unlimited money worth of operations or health related work in any hospital in AP state that is covered by the AP state government. But from what I know, even if it's a big operation one needs to undergo, if it costs 20 lakh, 30 lakh rupees, he can go wherever he wants to. He can get treated on. He doesn't have to worry about a dime. He doesn't have to worry about a pice that he's supposed to pay, because the AP state government is there for them to pay for their medical expenses. So education and health are taken care of by YSJ, so that is a big boost up for them. On top of that, he's been able to provide them with some schemes that puts some money into their pocket. So it's a win-win situation for YS Jagan Reddy Garu, YSJ compared to CBN. And another thing, when we talk about politics, though the gap between the politicians, the big leaders, and also common voters, though the gap is super long, but at the same time, one thing is for sure, that the administration of the state depends also on the bright kids or the bright minds of the state, because compared to a few other states or compared to previous times, AP state is now providing education in digital classes in English medium. That is not a corporate school that is providing people for free education. That is the state government of Andhra Pradesh. So that's something that really is an accomplishment. That really is something that they boast about, and rightfully so, obviously. So because the global language, the English, the global premium language of English has come, and in its medium, and in that medium, education is provided for free for the kids of that state. And on top of that, things like laptops and tabs have been handed to kids, to students. So obviously, that's gonna make them feel that, oh, the great and the IITs or the international level standard education is not really that humongous for us now to achieve and scale up to. And though they've been able to give them these facilities, along with being an investment, along with being a facility that the AP state gave to its students, it is also an investment made by the state government, so that better facilities, this is one version again, better facilities, the fear of the bigness or the great education level out there is taken off. It has reached them. So obviously it is about making some time and really getting heavy in their subjects and completely running through the books and really getting graded subject, and really out of the tens and millions of, or let's say out of the millions hopefully, beneficiaries because of the facilities, because of the fear taken out of them, because of the insecurities taken out of them. If someone's able to really do well and obviously comes out to be an innovative student, obviously really comes up with a product for the state that is really in demand by many countries, many states in the country also, because of its quality, because of its advancement, because of its quality, and obviously hopefully one or two of the entire out of the entire state and beneficiaries, one or two at least, or maybe two to five people, students come up with great innovative products, in demand products. Obviously they're gonna, and hopefully employ good 2 to 4 lakh students. It is not only going to give employment to hundreds and tens and hundreds of thousands of people, but also it also brings in a lot of revenue to the state as well. So that way, apart from spending on its students, and also it is getting some, the state is also getting some money from their students, from its students. So that is also something that is hoped for by the governments from the students. We can look at it this way too. So maybe, but when it happens, it definitely adds up to the state. That's one thing. And when these things happen, so what YSJ has been able to accomplish, and what has been able to take to people and make it completely public to people, that so if we calculate, if we do the metrics, if we do the calculation for 5 years, what CBN has been able to do is showing them the facilities, the situation of the facilities of English medium, previously Telugu medium schools of the AP state. And let's say if not just CBN, for example, there's a chief minister who comes in, he also has the opportunity to say, and also reason to say that because we're a new state, we're working on it, we'll be able to get there probably 10 years from now. We'll work on it and hopefully get you class benches. 20 years from now you'll get tabs. 20 years from now obviously you'll be able to pursue your educations in digital classrooms. So what YSJ has been able to do is he has saved age, or he has saved years of age of their students, his state's students. So what they could have received, image wise speaking, what they could have received in another 20 years, what they could have experienced and received from the state as benefits or as facilities, in another 20 years time they've been able to receive them in these 5 years, right after the first term of governance. So that's like taking them 20-25 years into future. So what you could have, and what Jagan Reddy Garu YSJ has been able to accomplish is, for example, if there's a government, if there's an opposition and they're countering the ruling party, and obviously they want to get to power, so when they design a manifesto, obviously they're going to pitch or promise a good 20 to 30%, sometimes 30 to 40%, better advancements and better benefits to people than the ruling party or the present party. But when it came to Jagan Reddy Garu, it's not the 20%, 30% mark compared to CBN Garu that he's been able to bring to his state, but he's been way ahead, good 20-30 years of CBN Garu's administration, and the benefits of it has been able to are received by students in just 5 years right after CBN administration. This is the image of AP state governance, and that is really good for AP state. And it is also possible that, and he took that game way away from CBN Garu. It's not something, maybe because though after CBN Garu, for whatever reason, and for whatever unfortunate reason there is, obviously he's not been able to, he wasn't able to fulfill his promise of waiving off the 2 lakh loan. That's not something that became a reality. That definitely costed him on some of his credibility, definitely, I would think. And along with that, he made sure he makes his mark, and when YSJ stepped in, he was sure on what he was doing and is able to deliver on the promises. Plus, what he's been able to say to people is, CBN also spent and took out some loans, brought state into some debt, and we are also we're still in debt, and we paid some debts too for the government. Government still is in debt, but we took the same amount of loans or maybe some more, for way more than Chandra Babu Naidu garu, and brought improvements and brought advancements, brought facilities to people, then way more than way more than CBN Garu's benefits, with almost same amount of, or with almost little less amount of loans taken by CBN Garu, CBN compared to YSJ. So this is the pitch, and it is good for his party, and I really hope. So he's been able to reduce their age, he's been able to reduce the timeline, the facilities, or the great things that they probably were going to experience in another 2 decades, 20 years. AP state students received them last 5-year term. So in last 5-year term by YSJ, YSRCP. So which is really great. So obviously, because it is done, it is not impossible. So we can also expect CBN Garu coming up with way more better policies than what are the existing policies and benefits and schemes are from the YSRCP to AP state people. So we never know, and I'm really looking forward to the manifesto of TDP, because he took the game so far away from CBN Garu, because he lost the last election. YSR Congress lost the 2014 election, so he made sure he wanted to make people remember what was a dream and what he's been able to bring to people, and do the math, and hopefully vote for him again. So this is his pitch. Really appreciate the accomplishments of AP government, and also really hopefully, and obvious, it is only obvious, at least good 10% to 20% more than what is a reality through schemes and governance in AP state by YSRCP. At least 10 to 20% more than that will be in the manifestos of TDP party, and maybe way more than what it is today for the YSRCP party. So whatever it is, both the giants of politics, one is a veteran, one is been in politics for 40 years, who's been a 3-time chief minister, from what I know, and also one is around a 50-year-old. One is a much younger politician, but definitely led his party in a progressive way, increased the number of MLA seats and MP seats. Obviously, lost the 2014 election. 2019, it was historic, a landslide victory for YSRCP. They won 151 out of 175. So there we are. So this is heading on with the head-on clash between YSJ and CBN. I think YSJ, His Excellency APCM YS Jagan Reddy will be winning this election too, 2024 election too. It's not super hard for him now, because of the advancements and the facilities and the schemes and the welfare that he has been able to deliver to his state. So that's where he's at. That's where AP politics is, obviously. But 150 to 175, I don't think they are realistic numbers for now. Maybe it's a possibility in politics. If one is able to really convince people, definitely possible. But at the same time, what I think is 100 to 110 seats are a guarantee number for YSRCP this time too. And on top of that, maybe they can push towards, or they can go towards good 130, 140, 120 to 140 is also a possibility. And there's definitely a chance, if the manifesto is really good, if they can really expose the YSRCP party and its and their administration loopholes and faults, if there's any, by TDP, again, because it is politics, there's also possibility for them to. So so there it is, head-on clash between YSJ and CBN, and both have their pluses and both have their minuses. YSRCP's minus is controlling the debt and creating wealth in the state, possible and hopefully decreasing the state debt, hopefully a bit, so that there is nothing for the opposition to speak on, compared to this time, compared to the accusations or the alleged accusations or the criticism that they face this time by the criticizers. So this is about this topic, friends. I really hope you've learned something new today. If you are new here and if you aren't a subscriber of Political Baba, make sure you subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon to get notified whenever I post a new thing. Thank you for watching this video. Please also check out my other YouTube channels' links and Instagram accounts. You can follow me from there too and subscribe to my other YouTube channels from there too. So thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate your time here. I'll see you all again, friends.